Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Well, currently I am working on my Saturday videos for May. This is the third video in May series. I am concentrating on the Color and Contour bundle. I don't think it's a bundle anymore, but it is this beautiful stamp set, which I don't think is really really got its fair share, so that's why I'm working with it. And these are the coordinating dies. These probably have got their fair share, but I'm not sure about everything else. And I am trying out a new camera stand. And you can see these little Tahitian tied strips. That's to tell me to work in this vicinity. So let's get the whiteboard away for a moment. You can see this little card here. This is because this is a gift card holder card. Let me show you our project. So it is a fun fold. It is a diagonal fold. Very beautiful. I love this on the inside because you don't expect it. This piece you can pull out and write, or you could glue that down. That is up to you. But it is made to hold a gift card in the center like that. And as I don't do a lot of gift card things, I thought I would give it a try. And I love the envelope. Okay, I just love the whole thing. So this is our project, and I'm gonna take that out so I don't lose it. Stick it back in its drawer because I use it. So let's go over what we are going to need for our project. I already can tell my notebook's not going to quite fit in there. Maybe it will. You guys will have to let me know if this camera stand works or not. It's really hard. The arms are very sturdy. It has the halo light attached to it. It's going to take me a while to position it and try some different places to position it. So you are going to need a Whisper White envelope. I didn't put that on the list because of course you're going to need an envelope. And you can see all my little magnetic clips, I think, from this view. Oh my goodness, I don't have a card base. Isn't that something? I can't believe I don't have the card base. Anyways, the card base is in Starry Sky. Do I have one? Nope. That is Orchid Oasis. So I will have to cut one on camera. Anyways, card base. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then on the front flap of that card base, we're going to cut on the diagonal, which we will do together in camera. We're going to do quite a bit of cutting together on camera. So the next piece is Tahitian tied, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to cut this on the diagonal. We're going to use both pieces. Then we have, this one is not cut on a diagonal. I guess I just got carried away writing that. This piece of Parakeet Party is for the inside. That's 3 3/4 by 5. Then we have 2 pieces of basic white, and that's 3.5 by 4 3/4. One is getting cut on the diagonal. The other is for the inside. So these are for the inside, the outside, and inside. We're going to cut those. These I'm going to set back on my little clips, hopefully. And then you will need a scrap piece of white for the flower. And the inks I'm using: Black Memento, Starry Sky, Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, and Sweet Sorbet. And if you have guessed, we're using the In Colors. Not my favorite color suite. I really like how this card came together. I am not one drawn to those bright colors. So I do try to challenge myself and work outside of my comfort zone, and this is it. So like I said, the Color and Contour bundle. I'm also using the Special Moments stamp set for Big Congratulations on the inside, adding a little bit more. I'm using a very old blender pen. We're talking close to 20 years old, okay? It's probably more like 18. Daffodil Delight blends, a Q-tip, and that is it. So I'm going to put my notebook away, move my card, and bring in my cutter. my cutter, my trimmer, and we are just going to cut this to 5.5. You guys don't see me cutting a lot of card bases. I like to do that off, but today apparently I didn't have it done. We are going to score at 4.25. Light blade for scoring, dark blade for cutting. So that is our card base. Now I'm going to cut the diagonal on my guillotine. It just happens, I think it works easier for me. Sometimes not, but on this card, I'm doing it just like I did mine, and it cut really nicely for me. So I am using a bone folder to crease it nicely. So I'm having it open this way. So now I'm opening it up. On my guillotine, I am going to line up the top score line with this bottom corner, and I am simply going to cut it. Now, we are not wasting any cardstock because we will be using this piece that we are cutting off. So that is the fun fold part. This piece we are going to glue on the inside to make our pocket. You won't see it from the outside. So now we need to cut our Tahitian tied on the diagonal as well. And these are just layering pieces, and we're going to use both halves again, so never fear. And we're going to use both halves of the basic white, but I am going to cut them first before I stamp. And I will tell you, I had a really great time stamping this card. It is what I love so much to do, and we got a lot of it going on in this card. So I'm happy to say that. So now I am looking for my scratch paper. You guys know I love using my scratch paper over and over. Look at all my stamping mess. So, excuse me, I need my stamp in Pierce Matte. What else do we need? I've got so much stuff going on. Not sure where to start, but let's start at the beginning where I did mine. Now, you can use tear tape, red liner tape, whatever you want to do to make your pocket. Just don't do what I did. And that was like, I'm sitting here, I'm playing, and I go all the way around the triangle with glue. Excuse me. And it just did. I was like, oh no. Then I had to let it dry, and then I used a glue eraser to get all the glue off of this half. So since this is going right up there like so, I'm going to turn it over. I am going to start my glue out. And I'm going to put just a little bead of glue all the way along here and along the bottom. That inner part of the triangle, I don't want to put glue at because then it will be glued shut. So I'm using the corner, trying to keep it in camera, so bear with me. I'm going to put it in like so. And there is my pocket. Now, yes, I got some seepage going on, but it's well glued in there, and I'm confident that it will not come apart. And then we are going to go next with our Tahitian tied. So here is one triangle, and we're going to glue that down. And if you're having a hard time seeing where to glue it down, put that other piece like so you can see. So this one, making sure we're getting the right layers, and I'm going to learn to keep this up. So there is one. And this is a really small increment of around the outside of the Tahitian tied. Scooch over just a wee bit more. That's why I love white glue. It's so forgiving. So this one now needs to go like so. So glue on this side. And I am going to pull it towards me a bit to see. Oh, see, yeah. I need that wiggle room. It's hard to see blue on blue as far as my border. So there is the inside. It's going to match. Ta-da! It's a little crooked. It's going to be just fine for what. Now we get to stamp. Now we get to play. We get to do the fun stuff. So I'm going to start with our flower. I've already completed everything just about, but I'm going to show you how I stamp this, because with this one, some of you might be frustrated with how to line it up. And I'm going to tell you, that doesn't bother me with this, because wait till you see what I do. I just don't let that get to me. So you ink it up with Memento. You could do this with blends. I don't happen to have these in colors in blends, and I will be honest, I'm not going to buy them as they're not my favorite colors. So I have the solid image, which is a distinctive stamp, which is lovely. I just love that it is that. So I'm going to always test first. Okay, I'm going to ink this up. And you can turn this and fart with it a whole bunch. Me, I'm just placing it down where it is. Then I pick it up and I turn it a smidge. And then for me, it's filled in beautifully, and I don't have to fuss with trying to line this stamp up. I like doing it like that. So that's how I do my flower with this stamp set, everybody. Next, I'm going to show you, here we have this one I'm going to keep. So I have light and dark of the Daffodil Delight blends, as the in colors didn't have a yellow. So I'm taking the light Daffodil Delight and I'm coloring all inside of the flower. Then I'm going to take that bullet tip, that rounded tip, and I am just going to come in here. Actually, I think I did little dots, giving it some depth and dimension in there. And that is how I did my flower for the front of the card. So I'm hoping you guys can see that. There's just little bits of darkness on the center. That is all completed, and I'm going to pop that back on my magnetic clip for a moment, because next we are coming in with our triangle of one of the basic whites, and we're going to work on the front of our card. So I told you I was going to work at somehow to use this leaf image from the stamp set, and this is what I came up with, and I'm pretty happy with it. So what do we need? Oh, we need this flower. I did use that. So I turned it over. I placed it roughly where I wanted it. I looked at my placement, and I do know I wanted a little better. So I'm going to first start in this bottom corner right here. So I'm going to ink it up in the Parakeet Party. I'm looking that I got it, and I'm stamping it down, putting it back. I'm going to ink it up again, and I'm going to go over here this way. And I'm bringing it in some because I want the inner part of this leaf to be underneath my flower. So I'm going to, oops, I got to start again here. So right about there, scoot that and stamp. Now we're going to do it one more time using, you could stamp directly on your flower. It's up to you. I am going to hold it in place and bring my stamp down. And we're not done with that image. We're just done with it for the front of it. So, but we're going to work, and my head is hitting the halo light there. So next I need my, told you this is so old, guys, my old blender pen, and I'm just dipping it in the corner because I don't have the blends and I don't have the markers. So I am just dipping it in my ink pad and Stampin' Up's quality. You just can't beat it. I don't think I could do this with anybody else's stuff. Use one that is so old. I'm not going to my others until this one literally is run out. So there's that, and I'm just doing some streaks inside there with the Tahitian Tide. You could go like this. You could do it however you want. If you had the blends, you could do the blends. If you had the marker, you could choose to use the marker. So that's all I am doing. I'm going to wipe it off a bit, but I'm going to turn around and reuse it. So there's not a whole lot of point to that. Next, this was actually an afterthought I had to come back and do because of how I did the inside. We're bringing in the black Memento, and I'm going to come in here like so with this little flower bud. Then I'm going to bring it up here, and I want, is it just the two? I wish that one was a little bit more. I need my flower on there. That's what needs to be. Nope, we're going to leave it just at 2. I have 2 on there originally. We're going to leave it as that. I'm checking my fingers because you know I'm going to ink myself up. It just is going to happen. It's just how I roll with stamping, okay? Yes, Susie, it's going to happen. Just waiting when it happens, right? So this is the little solid image for those little buds. Now I'm going to tell you, ink it up first before you use it. Stamp it, because when you look at it, there is going to be a darker image at one end, and I will, for the life of me, if I don't stamp it first, I will get it upside down. You want that darker part of the stamp, I'm going to do it again, at the bottom. So the darker part I know now is back towards the palm of my hand, and I'm going to stamp there. I'm going to turn this around, just make it easier. And I know, I'm checking, making sure that darker spot of the stamp, well, it is more difficult to do. There we go. So that's all for that. Now there's no sentiment on the front of this card. It's just this. We are going to bring in that splattery image in Tahitian Tide, and we're going to do a lot of stamping off. So stamp off first of all. Now I am going to start in the crevices of the flower. I'm going to use this pointy end and stamp. Now I told you I'm going to start in the leaf area, the leaf area first. I don't want any on my flower bud. So what do I have handy to cover that up? Let's just do it like so, because I don't want any there. There. And I should have stamped off better, but that's gonna be just fine. So stamping off completely, and then right in there in that crevice. Why is that like not coming off more? Really stamp off, and I'm gonna fill it in. Stamp off, fill that in. And if you feel you need more, like you need help in getting this filled in, use a Post-it note. I need some right there, and I don't want any on my green leaf, so I'm just going to cover it up. Yes, I want a little bit more right here, so I'm going to cover up my leaf a bit, stamp off completely. All right, so that now is finished. Ooh, this one needs it needs a little help, so let's go like this. So because it just needs a little bit more Tahitian Tide. There we go, much better. Next is our Q-tip. So our Q-tip, you guys have seen me do this. I'm having a great time with it as I'm still using it as a technique. This is our Starry Sky element, tying in our card base. So I'm going to check my Q-tip first, make sure it's still going to work okay. And it is. And I like that it's this feathery little polka dot. And you control on how big your polka dot is and how deep by how hard you stamp. And I am going to go real easy. I can always come back over and deepen it down. So let's start. I'm going to turn it how I look at it. I know I want one like right up here by the stem. And then I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm just kind of going left, right, left, right. So I want one down here, and I want one here, and I want one down there. That is all for this. And now we can put our flower on it. And you can use your bone folder to turn up the ends, but as these acrylic nails, this is what they're good for. I'm not sure they're much good for anything else in my crafting forte of a tool, but they have been really good for curling the edges of paper, and that really surprises me. So I am not putting any dimensionals on this card. I'm going to put some glue there, and then I'm going to lay my flower in between that triangle of the green parakeet party flowers. I'm going to move these aside, bring in my card base, and now I'm going to glue this down. And the reason why I'm not adding any dimensionals is because this is got a little bit of thickness in it from where we layered these pieces on the inside. And when I mail this, I want to be able to mail it with just one regular stamp. If I add a whole bunch of dimension, then I'm going to pay more for my stamp. So this one is going just like so in the center. And I think I really love these. These colors go well together. They're just not a color that I am drawn to create with all the time. So next we're going to work on our inner flap, and I wish I had gotten that a little straighter, but this is a handmade card after all, correct? Yes, it is. So to start this out, you need to make sure you have your triangle going the right way, meaning that 90-degree corner is to the bottom left part of it. And let me show you what we're doing. I started with stamping big congratulations, and so very happy for you. This could be a great graduation card with a gift holder. It could be a birthday card, and you can see I got ink from my fingers on it. So let's start. We are stamping big congratulations, which is from the Special Moments, down here like so. I'm going to set that well and away from me. Now this one, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. Okay. I pinched my nose, so maybe not. This one, so very happy for you, is going right there. And I really liked how it was offset from each other. And next is our flowers. So we got to bring back our little flower buds, that is the black memento. And I started with this one right in the corner. Then I brought this not all the way up, but at an angle, a little down, and I want this one kind of like so. So we're still doing that triangle effect. And I'm all done with the black memento. I don't need that anymore. But we're back to our flower bud. And you know, I've got to, see, the darker spot is up at the top. I know that's wrong, so I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to stamp again, and now I got it at the bottom, keeping it, that darker spot, towards your palm. So now I'm going to stamp. It's kind of hard to see right there. And on this one, I'm going to double check just because I'm so like afraid I'm going to get it in the wrong spot. If you do, just stamp on it twice. I'm going to turn it. And I think this is lovely. The more I play with this, guys, the more I like it. So we are done for right now. I'm not going to close this up. I'm just going to set it up and away from me, because now I'm going to bring back my parakeet party and my very, very old. I can pick it up here. You can touch that. It's up to you. I'm just adding that little bit of green to the flower. So you can tap it in the corners. You can make it as dark or as light as you want. These are a great tool. You can see how that, we're going to use it again, so I'm not going to clean it off too much. So I'm going to just lightly close it up and set it over to the side. Next, we get to bring back our Tahitian Tide. And this is the fun part about stamping. This is what I love about it. Now, this time I'm not worried about getting it. I'm just going to go try not to get it too much on my flower beds, but I'm going to go all over this piece of paper. So make sure I'm stamping off first. Let's see, just maneuver it. As I'm thinking, oh, we're going to go ahead and stamp right on top of this. So very happy for you. And there, that's done. We're not going to be done with it quite yet, the color, so I'm not going to close it up, but I am bringing back my Starry Sky because we're going to do the Q-tip technique once again. I'm going to start up here this time. See how nice and dark and firm that was? We're not going to do that again. I wanted a little lighter, a little bit more softer, more fluffy, I guess you could call it, as it has all that soft edges. And we're just putting polka dots on right there, our DSP. And we're going to do this again, but first let's put this on the inside. So now this piece is going to go right there. It's that extra little bit on the inside of the car, which I think is really fun for this. That's a lot of glue coming out of there. A lot of glue. I don't want it coming out the edges. And as I don't mind inking my fingers up, getting glue on me, doesn't bother me. It comes off. I do want the glue off of that though. So the glue eraser to the rescue, as I don't want it to glue the front flap of my card shut. So you can see how that's going. Next, we're going to close our glue up and we're going to bring in, this was so much fun to do, guys. I'm telling you, I had so much fun. Okay, we're not doing anything with the Parakeet Party, but this one we are. We're going to come back to our leaves in Parakeet Party. And I want to show you what we're doing. See the two leaves in the corners? This is what we're going to do. So I'm going to do one like so. And then one like so. Now I'm going to turn it around so it's easier for me to stamp and repeat that one more time. So this one, it's kind of at a diagonal with each of the corners. And then ink it up and come in like so. And then we could even add, because this one got a little, ooh, definitely. Let's do that with this one. There is just enough little space. Ooh, I like that. So are we done with Tahitian Tide? Nope, because we need, so here we go. We are going to color in our leaves as light and as dark as you want. Turn it around. And just scribble that nice, beautiful, bright ink in there that I tend to stay away from, but it does look good. So now wipe it off and we're gonna do some more on the envelope, so don't get rid of it just yet. So we're gonna go back to the black memento for the inside piece here, and we're gonna do these little rosebuds as they, well, whatever kind of flower bud you want them to be. So there's one. We're going to keep it in that triangle type deal. So like so. And those are well away from the corner. That's okay. There we have them. Now we're going to go back to that sweet sorbet and that little bud that I'm going to stamp first. And I got it at the bottom the first time. So there's that. And if you see me, I kind of am popping the bottom and then walking it down on a lot of these. So finding my bottom and then just walking it on top of the image, and it helps just to turn and rotate it. This is when I stamped too hard and I got that ink. That's where all that extra ink is coming from on my card. So we're going to set that away. Next, we are going to bring in the Tahitian Tide. And we're going to move this aside. Now this time, we are going to go, well, I didn't want to go over the entire image, but we are just for time's sake. It's light enough, it should be able to go right over the flowers without too much and we're doing at basically a diagonal. I don't have to get on those flowers, I'm not going to. Okay, and I do want a little bit there, but lightly. And I'm leaving that little bit of whiteness there for the gift card. I did do that on purpose. Some of you may feel like you need to stamp it in there, but I didn't. So we're going to glue these two pieces together. And if you didn't want to do a gift card and just write on this piece, don't do the flower buds all the way in the center of the card. If you need more room to write whatever it is you would like to write, you could even put money in here, tuck it right in there in this card. So this one is not getting glued down. I specifically left it. Oh, it's nice and snug. It's beautiful. Look at that. So they can pull it out. You can attach your gift card in there, but it fits nice and snugly in there. Next, we're going to work on our envelope. So what are we going to do? We're going to do our rosebud. We're going to do a rosebud in this corner and two rosebuds there and the leaves there. I'm not going to color in the leaves on this, but I am going to fill in the rosebud. So I'm going to do one. I think I'm going to do this one up closer to where you would write your name. Look at that. That does not work, does it? It does not work. And it looks like I'm going to do one right here because I got ink on it. And I even missed it. Isn't that the way it goes? All right. So then I will put a rosebud here. I'm calling it a rosebud, though I know it really isn't. And one there. I will fix that. And our green Tahitian Tide leaves. Tahitian Tide. Oops. Parakeet Party. So I'm going to start with that diagonal across my image. Then I'm going to bring it this way. And then there. So I've got those threes, and let's turn it this way. We're going to start it, and well, this one's got to go that way because of the rosebud. 2 and 3 points. Ta-da! Let's see, set that well and away from me. And once, oh, we do need this to fill in that little spot of our buds. And there's none down there to fill in. Wipe that off more in a minute. Don't need the glue anymore. I can close that up before it gets dried up. Set that aside and bring in that little bud image. And checking it, I have it in the right spot. I love when that works out. Now I do have to turn it. 2 more. Now I gotta check where it's at. It's towards the palm of my hand, so I'm good there. Turn it around and set that aside, and we bring back that Tahitian tied. So stamp off, and this time I'm going to stamp off a couple of times and then stamp, just because I want it to be lighter. I'm not filling in the leaves, but we're going to continue that little bit of splash up onto our envelope. Oh, really pretty. I even like that little bit how it did that. It's so pretty. So this is our card. And like I said, I'll get my little, the only thing I have in my desk that is close to a gift card there. But like I said, a little bit of cash could go there. You could put a little note, but I love how this can be pulled out. So if you wanted to attach it with the glue dot or some tear tape, you could, and they could pull it out to fully get access to what you're giving them. And it's really nice and snug in there. So there is my gift card holder card. There's this one. Oh, so pretty. I love everything about it. And of course, it would not be truly finished off. We could do rhinestones, but we're going to do just some Wink of Stella. I didn't do the one, my sample, so we're going to Wink of Stella everything, not the envelope. But let's do, I forgot the polka dots, didn't I? I sure did. We're going to have to fix that. So hold on, let me Wink of Stella everything. Give it some shimmer and shine. We forgot the polka dots on this card. This one has no Q-tip polka dots. I'm like, what is that noise going on there? And I can see that I'm missing Tahitian tied on my flower tips here. We got to fix that too. It's the dog. I heard this scratching noise, and he's trying to dig in the rug on the back porch so he can lay down, apparently. So polka dots, and polka dots. So let's do this. We're going to put, let's do one here. And I have to reach across. We're going to do one here, one there, one there, one there. There. On top of that boo-boo. We fixed that thing for good. Oh, look at that. I love it. I do. So outside of my wheelhouse as far as those bright colors, but it really suits it very nicely. So could do more, but put that right in there. So I hope you guys like this project. I sure had a fun time doing it. Like I said, it's outside of my normal colors and what I want to do. I should do one that folds like that, huh? That would be really cute. I'll have to do that in another video. Anyways, so long for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know about the camera angle. I would appreciate your feedback. It'll help me to adjust it. And more than anything, please come back and visit me in my wonderland. Bye-bye now.